everybody. Okay, so I have like this massive blinding light coming in from the door behind me and it's driving me crazy. But to do this video, I have to be right here in this spot so I will have natural sunlight coming in. Alright, so yesterday I did a video talking about creepy stuff that kids say, and at the end of that video I was talking about stuff like doing some Halloween movie quizzes for y'all, trying to figure out what different kinds of movies I could do them on, and I've actually been talking to my daughter Katie and my sister Maria. Yesterday was Maria's birthday. Happy birthday! But anyway, so we got to talking about some different movies, and I said that if any of you out there know any slightly popular movies that most people would know about, you could leave some for me in the comments and I could pick and choose through them if you would. The first one I thought I would do that I thought most people would know about, especially kids, was Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. My whole family loves that movie. I have seen it so many freaking times that I could probably recite the entire thing with it. You probably saw my video on my hobby where I record lots and lots and lots of movies. Well, one of my favoriteest movies is Hocus Pocus. I watch it every Halloween since I was 11. That was a long time ago. Anyway, so that will probably be, or more than likely will be, my first movie I do a quiz on. So what I decided to do was, whenever I do this quiz, I will, set it up like where I ask you the question, and then I do, is it A, B, or C, blah, blah, blah. And then in the comments, whoever decides to play the quiz or do the quiz, you can leave me, like, in the comments, okay, like question 1 was A, question 2 was C, question 3 was blah, blah, blah. You get what I mean. Okay, so today I thought I would do a little thing telling you about some trivia to the movie Hocus Pocus. There's actually quite a bit of cool stuff in there. Just a moment. Okay, so I found my papers talking about the trivia for this movie. Actually, in 2008, the divine Miss M, Bette Midler, she did an interview where she was talking about her movies and stuff and stated that Hocus Pocus was by far her favoriteest movie that she did. She enjoyed doing Hocus Pocus and she nailed it. Okay, actually, Sarah Jessica Parker, who plays Sarah Sanderson in the movie The Blonde-Headed Witch, I love Sarah Jessica Parker. I am a huge Sex and the City fanatic. I've seen every episode 100 times over, the movies 100 times over, and I love them. Anyway, back to the subject. She is the one that plays Sarah Sanderson in the movie Hocus Pocus. And actually, back in 2004, she was on that show, what was it? I've seen it 50 million times. Yeah, she was on the show called Who Do You Think You Are? And it's where you go in and you have someone look up your entire family history. And come to find out, she played Sarah Sanderson, a witch, back in the 1600s or late 1600s. Back in 1690s, her great-grandmother, 10 times over, her 10th great-grandmother, was arrested for some witchy stuff. They thought she was a witch. She choked someone to death, or her neighbor actually, and she actually was let go and escaped with her life. But Sarah Jessica was like freaking out. She could not believe that this was happened to somebody in her family back hundreds of years ago. Because in the movie it takes place in 1693. The witches are hung, and they did a spell to make them come back, and they ended up coming back 300 years later. So anyway, and the characters in this movie are actual people. There was a Thackeray Binks. There were the 3 Sanderson sister witches. There was an Emily Binks. And in the movie, Emily Binks, Thackeray Binks' sister Emily, who was killed and had her life sucked out of her by the witches, she, in the movie, died on October 31st, 1693, and in real life, she died October 1st, 1693. Okay, so another one is that you know how like when you see a trailer to a movie and you know the movie pretty well, you know all the scenes in it by heart, and then you see the trailer and you're like, wait a minute, that scene was not in the movie. I was gypped. Well, actually, in the trailer to Hocus Pocus, there are a few scenes that were cut from the movie. It wasn't in it. There's a part where the kids, Allison, Max, and Danny, were trying to push the witches into a pool. That scene is not in the movie. Another scene is where the three witches are in a grocery store and Mary is like scarfing down snacks or goodies or something, and Winnie is trying to yank her out of the store. And, excuse me. Okay, back, I'm not sure what year it was when it took place. There was a screening of I'm about to say 200. There is a 20th anniversary screening of the movie. It came out in 93. So 93 to 2003 to 2013 would make 20 years. So I guess it was in 2013. What is his name? Doug Jones. Doug Jones played Billy Butcher's son. He was the zombie that Winnie had rise up out of his grave and go after the kids. But turns out he wasn't bad. He helped the kids. But anyway, there's a scene where Winnie is like, you know, go get these kids and get my book. So he takes a knife, a pocket knife from Max. And what happened was, the story goes in the movie that him and Winnie were boyfriend and girlfriend. They were lovers, and he cheated on her with her sister Sarah. And sorry, I'm getting sick. But anyway, when Winnie found out about it, she sewed Billy's mouth shut with a dull needle, and his mouth was sewn shut. So when he grabs Max, he takes Max's knife, slices his mouth open, gets his mouth open, and moths fly out. But he told in the 20th anniversary screening that they were actual moths, not CGI, not no fake stuff. It was actual moths that flew out of his mouth. Can we say ew? Yes, I think we can. Okay, sorry. Sean Murray, the one that played Thackeray Binks, as Binks is a human, or a boy, he is played by Sean Murray. And when he turns into a cat, it is, let me find, I'm horrible with names. I try to do this without looking at any of it because I read it all over and over and over, but when it comes to names, I'm done. So anyway, Jason Marsden, and I know who else he played, but I can't off the top of my head think of who it is. But Jason Marsden, they dubbed his voice to use as the cat Binks. So Sean Murray was the human Binks, and Jason Marsden spoke for cat Binks. So, okay. Max Dennison, the one who plays him, is Omri Katz. He was not supposed to be the one to play Max Dennison. The role was actually offered to Leo DiCaprio, the lovely Leo DiCaprio. But anyway, he was at the time doing What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I don't know if y'all have seen that movie, but that's pretty good with Brad Pitt. No, Johnny Depp. How could I forget that? But anyway, that's a really good movie. That came out the same year as Hocus Pocus, but he turned down the role to do What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I don't know how old he was then, but in that role, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I believe he might have been about 15, 16, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, also with Omri Katz, when he tried out for the role, he was sick. And they kind of was like, no, he's not going to play this role. But he ended up playing it. Okay. They talk about how, well, this movie is a Halloween movie. It's watched at Halloween and all. But it did not come out in the fall during Halloween. It came out more in the middle of the year, kind of like more in the summertime. But it did not make as much money as they thought. But over the years, it really became popular. What is going on with my TV? Oh. Anyway, but yeah, it grossed, what did it gross? About $39.5 million, I think it grossed. But this movie only had 2.5 stars, and I was very surprised when I saw that because it's such an awesome movie and it's very popular. But I think I would have given it more stars. What do I have next? Oh yeah, the one that plays Satan, the witch's master. When they see him standing outside his door, giving out candy, he's out hollering, and the witches see him, and they just about die. You know, they're his biggest fan. He's their master, Satan. Well, they go up to him. They think that he's the devil, but he's really not. He's just dressed up. Gary Marshall plays the devil, and the one that plays his wife is Penny Marshall, his sister. How gross. Yeah, him and his wife were actually in real life brother and sister. They play husband and wife in the movie. And she is, what was that show about said Thelma and Louise? What's that old show that come on back then? If y'all can think of it with Penny Marshall in it, leave me in the comments and let me know what that was, because I'll freak out till I find out. Anyway. Oh yeah. In the part of the movie at the adult Halloween party, Bette Midler comes up to sing I Put a Spell on You, to put the dancing spell on the adults so they can't leave. They're under a spell, and she said, dance, dance, dance until you die. So she can get a hold of all the kids in town and suck the life out of them. Yeah. So, but anyway, the same year that this movie was being made, she also did a movie called Gypsy. Her name was Rose, Mama Rose. Well, when she comes up on stage, she says, hello, Salem. My name's Winifred. What's yours? In the movie Gypsy, she said, what was it she said? Hello, world. My name is Rose. What's yours? That was a takeoff of that. That line was a takeoff with the other movie. Alrighty. Rosie O'Donnell was actually asked to play Mary Sanderson, and she turned down the role because she didn't want to play a scary witch. But if you think about it, Mary Sanderson really wasn't scary. She was kind of funny. She was goofy, and, you know, Sarah Jessica's part as Sarah Sanderson, she was like a complete ditz, but she was funny. But yeah, Mary Sanderson really wasn't scary. Winnie was the scary one. She was scary. But yeah, she turned it down and gave it to Kathy and Jimmy. Okay, and this is my last one. I've already told you about Emily Binks. There was actually a person named Emily Binks who died on October 31st, 1693. And I thought it was really cool to read some of this stuff and find out, you know, little things about the movie, being I knew the movie so well, and I've watched it 100 million times, like I said, 100 million times. But yeah, it's a really cool movie. I love it. I think half the world knows this movie. If you don't know this movie, you have to watch it. But I thought I would just give you a little trivia about the movie and hopefully tell you a few things you didn't know already. But anyway, I am real excited to do my quizzes. Like I said yesterday, if anybody knows any more cool movies, leave it for me in the comments and I will look up some information on it. I'll give you some more trivia on any other movie you want, and I will come up with, actually I've already come up with a cool quiz for Hocus Pocus, and I haven't really decided when I'm going to put it out, but it will be soon. And I also want to do guess the candy corn in the jar, and whoever figures it out will win something. But anyway, I will see y'all later.